Nelson Mandela's legacy. From prison to president. Once upon a time, in a small South African village called Mvezo, a boy was born who would one day change the course of history. His name was Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, born on July 18, 1918. Though his name, Rolihlahla, meant troublemaker, no one knew just how much trouble he would cause for the system of racial oppression known as Apartheid. Mandela came from a royal Thembu family raised in the rolling hills of the Eastern Cape. But royalty didn't shield him from the harsh reality that black South Africans were second-class citizens in their own land. As a young man, Mandela studied law in Johannesburg, where he witnessed injustice face to face. The laws were not made for people like him. They were made against them. He joined the African National Congress, ANC, in the 1940s, where he helped form the ANC Youth League, a movement demanding real change. Mandela believed in nonviolent protest at first, inspired by Gandhi's methods. But as the government became more violent, Mandela's belief in peaceful change began to fade. After the Sharpeville massacre in 1960, where police gunned down 69 unarmed protesters, Mandela said, "There comes a time when people must choose between fighting and surrender." He co-founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, the Spear of the Nation, a militant group to sabotage the apartheid regime. But in 1962, Mandela was arrested. In a highly publicized trial, he gave a speech that shook the world. He said, "I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society. It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." For 27 long years, Mandela was locked away, mostly on Robben Island, forced to break stones under the hot sun. But even in chains, Mandela's spirit remained unbroken. He became a symbol of hope, not just for South Africans, but for the whole world. As the years passed, protests grew louder across the globe. "Free Nelson Mandela" became an anthem in every continent. Governments, musicians, athletes, all joined the call for his release. And finally, on February 11, 1990, the prison gates opened. Nelson Mandela walked free. He was older now, his hair gray, his face lined, but his heart was still full of fire and forgiveness. From prisoner to president, 4 years later, in 1994, South Africa held its first democratic election. Black and white, young and old, millions stood in line for hours to vote. And when the ballots were counted, Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. But Mandela didn't seek revenge. He created the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, allowing victims and perpetrators of apartheid to speak their truth. He used sport, like the 1995 Rugby World Cup, to unite the country. He served only one term, choosing to step aside and let democracy grow. Mandela left politics but never stopped working. He fought against AIDS, promoted education, and inspired generations of leaders. In 2013, at the age of 95, Nelson Mandela passed away peacefully. The world mourned not just the death of a man, but the passing of a symbol of resilience, justice, and forgiveness. Nelson Mandela's life teaches us one powerful truth. Even when the world is dark, one person's courage can light the way. From a village boy in Mvezo, to a prisoner in a cell, to the president of a nation. His legacy reminds us that freedom is never given. It is fought for. And once it's won, it must be shared by all.